how about Syria and the Middle East? Do you have any proposed plans or ideas on how to proceed over there?
Well, of course, that's the biggest quagmire that there is right now. And of course, it probably wouldn't be the quagmire it is had it not been for the invasion that George W. Bush did of Iraq, and of course Afghanistan too. When 9/11 happened, I wrote a letter to the paper down in Yankton. And my letter said this. I said that what we ought to do is we ought to find some clerics, some Muslim clerics here in the United States, and load up C-130s with food and humanitarian supplies, and take those clerics and put those clerics in Afghanistan and all through the Middle East, and drop food and humanitarian supplies to those guys. In other words, return good for evil. Turn the other cheek. The Christian sort of thing to do.
That's right.
Of course, we didn't do that. So now we have this huge quagmire there. And I actually think that President Obama is handling that pretty well. The idea of putting ground troops in there, I don't think is a really great idea. A no-fly zone, well, I mean, who's flying anyway? I mean, the ISIS doesn't have any airplanes. The only people flying really are the Syrians. I guess we could stop them from flying, but I thought it was kind of really maybe inspired that he was able to get Vladimir Putin to put his Russian troops in there to try to calm things down. But the truth is, the thing about the Middle East is that the only reason we have any interest in it at all is because of the fossil fuels there. And we need to get off of the fossil fuels and, you know, let them do what they want with their fossil fuels, and let the Syrians, let the Middle East people in general figure out their problems. Now, I'm not a stay completely away from the Middle East. I mean, I don't want to see the Arabs drive the Jews into the sea, and I don't think we would ever allow that to happen. On the other hand, Israel is not the United States, and our foreign policy should not be dictated by Israel. I mean, I thought it was verging on shameful to have the U.S. Congress have the head of Israel come and talk to the Congress talking about the Iran nuclear deal. The Iran nuclear deal, I think, is a really great deal. I mean, everybody said Iran's going to have a nuclear bomb by the end of the year. So we went in there and we negotiated a deal with them where they gave up their nuclear stuff. And, you know, it's a 10-year deal, so for 10 years at least, they aren't going to have any nuclear weapons. And I believe that 10 years of working with Iran and trading with them and becoming friendly with them, that in 10 years they won't have any interest of having an atomic bomb. You know, nobody trusts the Iranians, and maybe there's good reasons not to trust the Iranians. After all, they do fund Hezbollah, and they are, you know, they're not necessarily good actors. But they are also people just like you and I. And I think that the way to deal with people is not to go in with them and whack them with a stick. Is to go in and offer them a handshake and try to work with them and try to trade with them. So I think we have a much better chance of being successful in the Middle East by trying to be friendly people instead of, you know, aggressive people. And when I say aggressive, I mean militarily aggressive.